Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see how to send the custom template messages. And if you haven't watched the previous video, please make sure to watch the previous videos about the cloud APIs. And another things guys, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. So this is the statistics for the subscribers and not subscribers. So you can see only 1.9 people are subscribing my channel, right? Please make sure to subscribe. So this is the only support you are giving to me, right? Before going to the topic, please watch this video carefully because if you understand the concept, then you can able to create JSON format to the custom message template. So don't skip it. And here I am break the videos as a 4 parts. So you can see the first one is create custom template. So you may know how to create the custom message template and skip the video, right? But in this video I am going to tell in detail. So please make sure to watch carefully. And second one, after I create the custom template, I am going to explain how to understand the message objects. And after that, we will going to create the model class for the JSON which we created in the step 2. In the first step, I will going to send the message. So this is my dashboard guys. So here you can able to see this is the second option, send message with the API, right? So I just click this link right here, link, and open this one into the new tab to create the template. So this is my message templates. So I just click here, and if you observe correctly, you can see in the category section, right? In the previously this UI is like this, right? So if you watch any of my previous video, you can able to see in the category section there are 12 options, right? We have to select among one, right? But here they just reduced to the 3, right? I hope this is for the user experience, I guess. So I just select the marketing, nothing complicated here. So here I just give the name custom food order template. So after that I have to select the language. So this is for the demonstration purpose, right? So I just click the English, right? That's all, and I just click continue. So after I click the continue, this page is available for you. So here in the header, body, and the footer and the buttons, right? So in this case what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to create a template in very difficult format. For here you can able to see I select the media type and I select the image. So after I select this one, you can able to see in the right top add sample, right? So which means if I click this one, and I can add any of the images and see how it's look like afterwards, right? So I just click add sample. If you have any images, I locally download some of the images. I just select this one and open it. So you can able to see, right? This is good looking, right? So I just done this one. So in the body I have to add one text, right? So I mean that text will appear here, right? Here I'm going to add. So you can see I added the promotion text. So this might have the grammar mistake, I don't know, I'm not good in English, but the thing is, right, you can see hello, right? So hello, discount is going on our Point Bitru branch. Offer is just put like $3 till till whatever, it's just type till 2022 June 24, right? You can able to see, right? So if I keep the body as this one, right? So if there any offers change, for example offers change, or like in the branches, right? Just imagine I'm going to the Colombo branch, right? So then I have to create another template, right? So then that will be a difficult thing, right? So I mean if I keep this template, right? So if the offers price go up or down like this, then I have to create another template for sending the message, right? So that's a difficult thing, right? That's why the coolest option is, right? So you can delete this one, and I delete the date here, and I delete the branch as well, right? So I just delete this one. Point Bitru is my current hometown, so I delete this one. So here you can able to see there are one option called add variable, right? So I just click add variable, but you can see after I selected here, right? But after I select the add variable, that come to bottom, right? But in the bottom it's saying it can't be at the end or beginning, right? So that's why what I am saying is I just cut this one, right? I put it here, right? And I cut this one and put it here, and another variable for the date. So you can see this is the text for the branch name. This is for the price, the dollars, price in the dollars, and this is the date, right? So this is offer date, right? So that's all. Again the alert still visible. The thing is this is in the end, right? So this can be beginning or end, right? So I just put dot, right? Now it's fine, you can see it's gone, right? So and other than that, what I'm going to do is, so you can able to see the preview here. I just make this hello discount is going hour, and I click the bold text, right? So this is kind of good, right? After I make this one as bold and italic, that's fine. As usual, I want to see the preview, that's why I'm clicking that sample. So if I click that sample, I can able to add, so I can able to add these values, and I can able to see this behavior, right? I mean how it's look like in the message view. So you can able to see this is for the branch name, this is for the offer, this is for the date, right? So here I just click done. You can able to see this is looking good, right? It's pretty awesome, right? Now I have to add the footer, right? So in the footer section I have to add thank you for being our customer, this is good. And after that I have to select the button, and one is for call to action, another one for the quick replay. I like this quick replay button, right? So I just click here and I just add one text can be like this, right? So order and another one, we can maximum we can add 3 buttons here. So just see the preview, right? So this one for the order, and this is one not interested, I just remove this one. And I just for the user experience purpose, right? So if the user can able to select in this side, that could be a user experience, right? I just cut this one, I paste it here, and I cut this one here and paste like this. Okay, so yeah, now it's pretty good, right? That's fine. I just submit this one, and language is only one, right? The English language I submitted before. I just click confirm. This will take some time to verify this one. Sometime it can be 3 hours or 4 hours, I don't know exactly what is the time they are considering to allow this templates, right? So you can able to see in the bottom template I created 6 hours before, that's only got approved now, so it takes some time, 6 hours, right, to verify. Secondly, I mentioned, right, first I create a custom template, this is completed, so still in approve process. So after that, so I will going to explain, right, understand the message objects, right? So this is the thing you have to notice very carefully, because this is one bit confusing, but if you concentrate to understand this one, then that will be a easy thing. So I'm come to the home page, and you can able to see there are one document, right? I just click these documents, and as usual I am clicking this WhatsApp business platform and the cloud API, right? After that you can able to see something called reference, right? So I just click this one, and after I click the reference, in the left side you can able to see I click the reference. Under the reference there are one option called messages. I just click the messages, and after you click the messages you can able to see the topic is messages, right? So in the right side you can see template objects, right? I just click the template object, right? So now I currently navigate to the template object here. In order to understand this JSON format and the templates, so what I have done is, in the right side I am having the JSON format, in the left side I am having the document, right? So in the new tab, this is the template I am going to represent as a JSON object. You can able to see in the right side, right? Messaging product, it's a WhatsApp. Reception type is a individual, and two, this is a phone number, and type is a template, right? So you can see type is a template, right? After that, this is a template and this is a template object. Between the curly braces we are having the template objects, right? So in the template objects we can see the documentation here. In the template objects having 3 properties, right? One is name, another one is language, another one is a component, right? So in the language you can able to see, I just expand this one, template objects having the 3 properties. One is name, second one is a language, third one is a component. In the name, this is a template name, right? So template name is this one which we created before, right? This is a custom template for food ordering, this is a template name, right? So template name will come here. And second one is a language. You can able to see language is a required one, right? So we should have to add the language, contains a language object, specify the language template may be rendered in, right? So in our case they mention language is an object, which means likewise, right? So templates this is a template, right? So this is a template having the template object here, and inside this one, right, language also another object, right? So that's why if we can expand the language, right? So I minimize this one, and again I am saying the components, right? Third one, right? I mean the inside the template, third one is the components, right? In the components you can see this is the optional one. Why is optional? For in case, right? So we are in previously we are sending the hello world, right? Here we only add name and language, right? Name and language, because if you send the templates, name and language is a required one, right? So component is not a required one, that's optional one, because if we add other value, right, if we want to add other variables, for example in our case, right, so in our case this, right, so this restaurant name will change, right, the offer will change and date will change, right? For that purpose, right, the component is optional one. If you want to change the value from this templates, we want to use the components, right? So make sure to clear about that, right? So another thing, this is the name and language, and the component is object, right? So please make sure. So now I am going to see below the template object, you can able to see button object, component object, currency object. Likewise you can able to see, right? The thing is, right, they are ordered in the alphabetic order, right? B, C, D, right? So like alphabetic order, they ordered, right? So in order to see the language object, we should have to click this one, right? So here language object, right? So you can see language having the two properties, one is policy, another one is a code, right? So language having two properties, but here both are required, policy and the code are required, but here I only represent that code, right, language code. But because I haven't mentioned the policy, because without the policy also that will take this value, right? So that will take the deterministic, so I don't want to worry about that. If you have one language code and no need to mention this one, right, this will defaultly take this value, so don't worry about that. So I just so in the language code, right, so I'm, for the example I'm saying, they are mentioning the code of the language or local to use accept both language, right? So the thing is you can pass English, and if it's a local, right, I mean if the Australian people speaking English, that's a different one. I mean the British people speaking English, that's a different one, and US also people speaking English, right, that's also different, right? Some different pronunciation and something like that, right? So in that case, if you want to localize your language, then you can add this one, or else you can add this English, this one, right? So this language code come here, so just click this one and open in the new tab, and after you click this one, you can see below the message templates there are one option called supported language. If I click this one, you can able to see what are the language available to use here in the WhatsApp, right? So you can see English having the three, right? One is English, second one is English UK, the third one is English US, right? So you have to choose accordingly. So that's the language thing. I just close this one and I just minimize this language code, and after that you can able to see I just go to the again go to the templates, right? Again I come to the templates here, templates, right? So in the templates we saw the explanation for the name and the language, and we haven't see the explanation for the components, right? So you can able to see components, right? So this is the optional one, right? As I mentioned, if you want to add some variable, I mean if you have some variable in your template, then you have to use this component to add the value for that variables, right? So here so I'm going to see the components. I just click here. So this is a component object, right? So in the component object there are four things here, right? One is type, second one is a subtype, third one is a parameter, and fourth one is a index, right? But here I just expand the type. In the component there are three types, right? One is a header, another one is a body, and third one is a button, right? So if you expand these components, right, type is header, it can be header and it can be body and it can be button, right? Here also button, but I haven't mentioned, right? So this is only three types, right? So in the components having the three types: header, body, and the button, right? So that's all they are mentioning. And in the type they are mentioning for text-based templates, right? If you are creating a text-based template, we only supported type equal to body, right? So text-based template only supported for the body, type equal to body, right? So nothing complicated here. And we can see the subtype, the second one is a subtype, right? So they have mentioned in the document this is subtype is required, right? When is required, right? So when we are using the type equal to button, right? When we are using type equal to button, then only the subtype is the important thing, right? So you can see here we are, the type is a header, so we no need to worry about this subtype, right? So this is the body, we no need to worry about the subtype. But when we are using type as a button, then we should have to add the subtype, right? That's why they are telling in the documentation, right? If I expand this subtype, required when type equal to button, right? So and another thing they are mentioned here, not used for the other types. I mean they clearly mention, right? So this we can't use for other types. Other types mean body and the header, right? And here you can able to see subtype have two things, two values, right? One is a quick replay and another one is a URL. If you see the quick replay, they mentioning like this, right? Refers to a previously created quick replay button that allow for the customer to return a predefined message. For the URL, refers to the previously created button that allows the customers to visit the URL generated by appending the text parameter to the predefined prefix URL in the template. You can able to see this parameter, right? In the parameter they are mentioning required, listen carefully, required when type equal to button, but they haven't mentioned like this, right? For the subtype and the index they mention not used for other types, which mean this is only for button, right? But here they haven't mentioned anything like that, right? Because this parameter is used for the, you can see header also using the parameter and the body also using the parameter, right? So parameter object, right? You can see parameter we can use for everything, like so they here, but they are in this here. Sometimes you may confuse, right? Sometimes you may confuse and think this is only for the button, but they clearly mention they haven't at this text here, right? So that's the thing. And array of parameter objects with the content of message for components of type equal to button, see button parameter object, right? So click this one and we can able to see button parameter objects. So this is loading, you can see. So you can see the button parameter objects, right? So this is a parameter, right? So this is a button, this is a parameter. So if you expand this one, you must see this one, right? Type, payload, and text, right? Just expand this one, type, payload, right? But here they clearly mention type is a required one, we should have to add the type. So type they are mentioning there are only two types, one is a payload, another one is a text, right? So here we are using the payload, right? And secondly you can able to see if we add payload, right, they are mentioning required for quick replay buttons. For example, in this case we added the quick replay button, right? Here we added the quick replay button, right? Quick replay button, we choose the quick replay button. So if we add the quick replay button, we should have to add this payload, right? So callback from a quick replay button callback, for example, they just giving the example how we can implement this one, right? And another thing you can see the fourth one is a text required for URL buttons, right? If the button contains a URL, I mean the link to open, then we have to give like this, right? We have to copy this one and we have to put it here, right? I mean in case if we use URL buttons, right? So now I minimize this one, I minimize the button, I minimize the body, and now I am going to see the explanation for the header. Left side I again go to the template object, so this is one. So here we can see, right? So component objects, I click the component objects, right? So in the component objects I expand this one, we added for the header, right? So in the header I just expand the parameter and expand this one, right? In the parameter you can able to see there are two types, right? Parameters. I again go to here and again click the parameter object, right? So parameter, no, if you see the parameters, then you can come to parameter object and see what are the parameters available to add in the headers, right? So type, we should have to mention the type, right? So type is the image, right? Because in our case in header, right? So in the header our type is a media, right? Type is a media, but we added inside the media category we added image, right? There are two option as well, video and document, but we added image, right? Text, currency, date and time, image, document, video, right? But here we choose the image, right? Required when type equal to image, then media object, right? So where is the media object? Then they are spotting another object, so I'm going to the media object. So another easy thing is go to that this thing template objects. Above the template objects, above the template objects you can able to see media object, right? So image, right? We only have to see the option in the image, right? So you can see there are 4 parameters, right? If we using the media, we have to add the 4 parameters, right? Accordingly, for example, this is optional one, this is optional one, and here also they are mentioning, right? In the image we have to add the URL, right? So type is the image, so if it's the image, which means the media object, so we have to open the object, we have to open the curly braces, and here you can see id. Why we haven't added id here, right? The thing is required when type is a audio, document or image and you are not using a link, right? If you are using a local file, then id is a necessary thing, right? But here we are using the link, right? Here we are using an online link as a image, right? In future we will go into add the image here, right? So in that case, right, required when type is a audio, document or image or video and sticker, and you are not using an uploaded media image, right? So if we are using a upload media, then you have to use the id. You can just give the link, right? So it can be http or https, anything is fine. But right, that's all for this one, right? So I just minimize this one. If the type is a body, let's explore the parameters. I expand this one and I again go to that parameters. Here click the parameter, right? So expand this one, right? So after expand this one, you can see this is a text, right? So in our case, right, this is a text, this is a text. If we are using a text, we have to refer this document, right? This message text for the header components to characters limit is 60, right? If we are using this text into our header, right, this is a body. If we are using in the body, the limit is 1024, right? But if it's it in the header, the limit is 60, right? Make sure you have to validate this correctly, otherwise you will get the exception or error codes, right? Not exception, you will get the error codes, right, as the response. So the second one, right, why I am saying is in this body, right? So you can able to see in the body, the first one is the place name, right? The branch name, right? So here I am giving the branch name, right? Our branch name is Colombo restaurant branch, right? So here text, I put it in the order, right? First is a text and here the text string, right? So in our case the branch name, right? So that's all. And the second one you can see offer, right? In this case this is a currency, type is a currency, and after the currency another object here, and currency having 3 parameters. One is fallback value and second one is a USD, and third one is a amount underscore 1000, so that's in number, right? So if you have any doubts about this one, right, so currency, you can, I just open here and open the currency into that here, right? Currency object, right? So if you are using the currency, right, if you are using a currency, come to the currency object, you can see the fallback value. This is a required one. Default text if localize fail, right? If the localize fails, this is default text, right? And the code, so here we have to put the code, currency code, ISO 4217. So this is a international standard, right, code. So we had to add this one. So in our case we are using USD, right? So USD is a ISO. So if you have any doubt, just search, copy and search this one. This will give the code for the, I mean, if it's a USD, that will, if it's a dollars, that will give as a USD, right? And amount, right? So required amount multiplied by 1000, right? So amount multiplied by 1000 mean, so then according this one you have to give the value, right? So this is 1000, so you have to give the correct value here, right? So and after that I have another thing, right? So again go to here, and second one is a date, right? So in the date format you can able to see I expand this one, right? So type is a date underscore time, right? So you can able to see under the currency date underscore time object, right? So type is a date underscore time, and the value field the value fallback value, right? That's a required one and only one, right? Fallback value here, month, date and comma, after that we have to provide the year, right? So this is a JSON format for the this sample, and you can able to see I just expand this one, right? So messaging underscore product, it's a WhatsApp. So don't worry, I will copy this one and put it into the under the video description. You can click and go to that my Stack Overflow, and you can get this JSON format. And this is how you have to use the documentation, right? So and I give the documentation URL. So as I mentioned before, if you start to develop, I mean if you start to convert any of the templates into the JSON, then make sure you have to use start from the template object, right? Then that will be a easy option. So this video taking a lot of time, so what I'm going to do is, so in this video I'm telling more explanation, right? So that's why it's taking a lot of time. So because here I am mentioning how to read a documentation and how to convert as a JSON object, right? So that's the thing. So as of now we completed number 1 and number 2. So the only pending thing is 3 and 4, right? So create the model class for the JSON, and after that send a message. So this video taking a lot of time, so don't worry, I will provide this JSON request in the description. So and make sure to subscribe my channel. So that's the only support I am asking you. So so I provide the document link in the video description as well. So I hope you guys you will get a better understanding, and don't hesitate to read the documentation, because documentation is a key, right? That's the only key to access the APIs, right? So API, so whatever the programming documentation, right? And that's all guys. If you like the video and if you have any comments, please make sure to comment it. I will reply as soon as possible, and thank you so much.